surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break. Brought to you by Sandhills Global. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Bush.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy New Year's Eve. Steve Sipple alongside Nick Sainert filling in for Jake Sorensen as Jake is out of town one final day. Jake will be back on Thursday, Sip. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning to you. That was Jake-like energy out of the gate.
Well, so I don't know if you ever know this.
You and Jake are becoming one.
Well, we did spend a decent amount of time together this past weekend. I don't know if you know this about the whole energy breaking into the show type of thing. The first time I ever filled in for Jake, I did not apparently come with enough energy. And you called me out live on air. I think it was like I was less than 2 years into radio, and I got called out by Steve Sipple for not being energetic at 6:01 a.m. I don't know if you also remember, we got locked out. We weren't able to get in one day. Do you remember that? You had to run to Target and get WD-40.
Right. I ran home.
Yeah. Oh, you ran home.
I ran home to get WD-40, but my home was nearby.
Yes.
By the way, don't we call each other out for everything?
Yeah, for the most part, I suppose.
I didn't know that was us. I didn't know that.
I'm just saying, I think about that every single time I fill in for Jake, is that I have to like come with this energy. It's not that it's not made up.
Now.
It's not that it's made up, or it's not that I'm not excited, but to scream into the mic at 6:01 a.m. is not in my forte, I suppose. But here I was. Hello.
It isn't your forte because you just did it. It was extraordinary, but I'm still taken aback. I feel horrible right now.
That's not why I brought it up. I didn't bring it up to make you feel bad.
I didn't know I was calling you out.
I don't need an apology. I mean, because it's the same thing as like when somebody, whether it's young Ben, whether it's Ben, or if it's Jake or me or whoever, just lets out the slightest yawn. Oh, are we tiring you? Are you tired? Are you getting tired? Are we boring you? I'm sorry. Come on, wake up.
We give each other a lot of guff, both on the air and off. In fact, I can't even say what you said to me when I saw you.
Well, we don't need to worry about
that to the air.
Last time I filled in, you made me push the dump button. People forget that. People forget that the last time I filled in, it was just last week. It was just early last week, right out of the gate. Sip made me lean over to my right side and push that big red dump button.
Because I said shot. Hey, I know what I said. Now, listen, should that word be banned from radio at this point in this world?
Which one? The one you used?
Yes.
Well, it's not allowed on radio.
But that's
So
what I'm saying.
It technically
In this
already
world-
is.
in this new world we're in. Why should that word be banned? There's probably one word that should be banned.
There's a lot of other. I mean, there's a lot of. Now, see, we can get down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, we don't need to.
We don't need to, but we could get down this rabbit hole of like what words are actually bannable
The one I said is
or
really
cancelable.
the one I said is lowbrow, and it's not. It's classless, but it's not heinous.
No, I would not categorize it as heinous either.
Right.
But you did your job.
Okay. So here
anyway,
we are.
yes.
Ben's here too. It's just Nick Sainer, I, and Ben.
That mic is acting up.
I know. Should I switch
Yeah,
the room?
let's hold on 1 second. Let's switch you. Okay, let's pull up that one over there if that's all right with you. So nope. Swing it the other way. Swing it the other way. There we go.
There you go.
And can we hear you better now?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and push that mic down now.
What's going on?
There it is. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
There you go. Because we have to be able to see you on the stream.
All right. Now
So it
we're
sounds
rolling.
better.
This is early break with Nick, Sip, and Ben.
That is right.
Yeah.
It was funny. Ben asked me before the show, and I'll talk about Ben here. Ben asked me before the show. He goes, "Hey, should we be switching the name of the show for when you fill in?" And he's like, "You've done it a couple of times these last couple of weeks. Maybe we should switch the name of the show." And I said, "No. We don't want to ruffle any feathers here. We're not worried about it." So it's still early break with Sip and Jake. Just Nick is filling in for Jake. Sip, Jake, and Bill Bush.
Sip, Jake, and Bill.
Yes.
Yes.
But Bill is out, and then Jake is in Denver still.
Yes.
But he made it very clear on the email he sent. He said, when you close out the show, make sure to say, hold on, Jake is back on Thursday. So there it is.
Say that.
That is on the notes to say. So I got to
I
make
like
sure.
that about
I
Jake.
have to make sure I specifically say, all right, no show tomorrow. Jake is back on Thursday.
You guys,
See ya.
you guys were fabulous in New York as a tandem.
Thank you.
It was, hey, Ben, it's just fun to watch them interact. Like it's like I feel like I almost should pay to do it. Like there should be a fee to watch them. I had my pregame meal with them,
That is right.
and it was hilarious. They don't even know how funny it is to me because I don't verbalize that. I just sit back and watch and try to prod them a little bit, and it doesn't take much prodding to get them into each other. So it's funny.
Well, you have to remember, and we've talked about this at nauseum, but you have to remember we spent a lot of time together. There was no going to our separate rooms at night. There was none of that. It was Jake and I. We were always together.
They're in the same
We
room.
were always together.
See, Sean Callahan. This is Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by
RenewYourAuto.com.
Yeah, Renew. Yeah, and this is Idle Chit Chat. See, Sean has a policy. We don't room together.
Well, and I appreciate, and I will say this: like we never roomed together. Like on every trip that I've been on, whether it was me and Jay in Bloomington, whether it doesn't matter. When we send people to the Super Bowl, when we set whatever it might be, never room together.
yeah, it's
You
not
don't.
a good thing.
No, you don't.
We're
don't.
grown men.
The reason we didn't, and here's the thing, Jake, I need to preface it publicly once again that Jake did offer me half the bed. That's not the problem here.
What's the problem?
The problem was that there's a hotel room that's out there that's not big enough to fit a cot. That's the issue. Because I
tried to get in a cot.
I took the necessary steps the day of leaving on the 26th. I called the New Yorker hotel on the way to Epley.
That's where
on the
you
way
were.
to the Omaha
You were
airport.
at the New Yorker.
Yes, on the way to the Omaha airport, and I was like, "Hey, can I reserve a cot?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course. It's $49 a day. Yeah, but we'll reserve it." I was like, "Perfect, thanks." So I get there. I had no concerns traveling because I was like, I don't care if we have to stay in the same room. I'll get a cot. I don't have to sleep on the floor. We're all good. I'm good with it. And I get there, and they're like, "Sir, we apologize, but I see that we put that your room would have a cot in it, but unfortunately, your room's not big enough to hold a rollaway."
Okay, so you're at the front desk when this is transpiring.
Yes.
And what goes through your mind at that point?
Oh dear.
Right.
So I was like, well, there's nothing I can do.
But
and
now
there's not
what-
a single, and because of the time of year wedged in between Christmas and New Year's, there's no rooms available. Like that we got. I don't know if you know this. I called the New Yorker and I was like, hey, so we're part of the Pinstripe Bowl media. Can we go ahead and get a room? And they're like, we're all full. And I said, you don't have one single room. And they're like, let me transfer you. So they transferred me to like the vice president of the New Yorker hotel. And I'm talking to her like a week before we leave. I was like, just yesterday, you guys sent out the link for the media info. She's like, yeah, they're all booked up. She's like, let me see what we have. She goes, I have one room that's in the corner of the 19th floor. And I was like, we'll take it. So there was no like, hey, we can get you 2 rooms or we can get you a room with 2 beds. There was none of that. It was,
Hold on. I got to back up.
we just need
Now,
somewhere to
there's
stay.
a critical part of this conversation that we can't gloss over. At that moment, when that lady says to you at the front desk, or the man, whoever it was,
Yep.
We can't fit a cot in that room.
Yeah.
It'll just have to be the single bed. Then what is the protocol at that point? Who gets the bed?
I gave it to Jake.
Did you?
I just gave it to Jake because Sip, you know this. Jake, first of all, Jake wouldn't have been pleasant if he didn't have the bed. And then I would have had to hear about it for the next month and a half.
What about the concept of seniority?
Yeah, I mean, essentially that was part of it too. I'm
It's a
23.
concept.
I'm 23. My back can handle it a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know. But we got back from.
That sounded a bit like disrespect. I don't know for sure, but
Well. So then the process of this was we got back from the pub we were at Thursday night that you dipped out of and didn't show up for.
dipped out of after 5 hours. How about that?
You weren't
How
there
do you
for
say-
5 hours.
I was
You
there.
were not
I
there,
was there.
for 5 hours.
I got there at
Sipple.
5:30, left at 10.
You need to talk to. No, you did not, because we got there at 8. You need to talk to your colleagues because that's not the story that we heard.
No, we were there at 5:30.
So I understand.
Setting up.
I understand. But anyway, no, this is Thursday night, the pub. Thursday
Oh,
night.
the
not
pub.
not the Friday.
Oh.
Not the Brazen Tavern.
You're right. I did dip out.
Yeah, you didn't show
I
up.
dipped. No, I dipped.
You were the one that told us about it.
I had 2
And-
old fashions. That's showing up.
Okay, that's right. That's right. And so we were walking back at like 1:30 to our hotel because we stayed at the pub with some of your colleagues till 1:30. And we walk into the hotel and I was like, Jake, I gotta get some sheets, I gotta get a pillow, like I gotta get something. And it's like 1:30 in the morning. I go up to the front desk and I go, hey, listen, can we get an extra set of sheets? And the front desk lady looks at me, she's like, do you want like a comforter or pillows? And I said, what do you guys usually put on the bed? And she goes, well, and she rattles everything off. And I said, I'll just take a set of those. And so they bring up a giant industrial sized garbage sack filled with comforter, sheets, blankets, 3 pillows. And at like 1:45 in the morning, I was just making my bed on the floor. And that's where I stayed the
That
rest
must
of
look pretty good to you.
it was great. It was a great and welcome sight. And
Yeah.
then on top of it, the best part, and this is what I did appreciate the most, is that the next morning we had housekeeping come in, and I didn't even think about the optics of just a makeshift bed on the floor in this tiny room in New York City. And so we come in the next morning or next day on Friday, and there's a fresh bag. They left an extra set of it all on Friday nights. It was stunning. It was incredible.
That's
That's customer service. The New Yorker, 8th and 34th or 8th and Avenue, or
That is
something like that.
customer service.
I mean, didn't ask questions. They just gave me a new set of sheets.
that is remarkable. Okay,
Yeah.
now was it cold on that floor?
What?
Was it cold on that floor?
Yes, because here's the thing: that hotel was built in like 1929, and the windows are a little drafty. The windows are a little drafty. So
Quick bit of classroom etiquette here for you. Instead of what, when you're addressing somebody, excuse me. would
excuse
drive you-
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we doing this right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. 402-464-5685. What would you change about SIP's radio tendencies? What would you change? Is it you can look at it this way. Glass half full here.
Did that?
464-5685.
Wow.
What would you change about SIP? Or I mean, you can come at me too. What would you do with what would you change with our radio tendencies?
He's got one.
Eating in the mic, Ben says.
Trouble. got in trouble for it. Been in trouble for it. Yes.
Anyway,
Ben,
that is
been reprimanded.
that is idle. You had some questions that you wanted to ask me. Do we still want to get to those, or we want to postpone those? Okay, yeah,
yes,
we'll postpone them
because
you
that
can't
was
remember
good
them.
idle chit.
They must not have been.
Oh, I
too
wanted to
important.
ask you some things about. I'm always oddly interested in when people go to games, like what the experience was like. But we can do that.
I
later.
could, yeah. I mean, because
We could
I have a
idle
lot
chit-chat.
of thoughts on that stuff. Not the most. Maybe we shouldn't get to that topic because I have some thoughts. Anyway, that's Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by Renew Your Auto.
Now
Call
I'm really
call or text David 402-833-3858 or go to renewyourauto.com for the month of December only, and today's the last day for it, folks. So you better get it while it's available. Get $100 off a ceramic coating package or rust proofing and undercoating packages if you mention 93.7 The Ticket and or early break. See what Renew can do for you. That's our good friend David from Renew Your Auto, 402-833-3858. All right, Sipple, let's move on to some Husker football conversations here. As yesterday, Nebraska had a wide receiver enter the portal in the form of Jalen Lloyd, the Omaha West Side product. He enters the portal after having 19 catches, 492 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns in his 2-year career with the Huskers. What's your initial thoughts on Jalen Lloyd?
sometimes this whole portal thing and a player entering the portal makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This one makes sense to me. In that he wasn't going to be a starter. You can say that. You can just say unequivocally that Jalen Lloyd was not going to be a starter unless there were a rash of injuries. You pretty much have a sense that the starters are going to be Isaiah Hunter, Dane Key, and Ja'Cory Barney. And, there's going to be a rotation of receivers, and Jalen probably would have been a part of that. But how many targets was he going to get? That's what it comes down to. Right now you have Heinrich.
Yeah.
You have Heinrich Harburg, who I think is going to be a major threat in the offense. And you have Carter Nelson.
Yep.
Who else we talking about?
I mean, you have Cortez Mills, who's going to be a freshman,
Mills.
who's certainly going to play. I mean, fight for time.
You have Demetrius Bell that
Yep.
nobody even thinks about coming off a knee injury, but
That's right.
he flashed very well. You have all these players, and it's a pretty crowded room, and it's a good room now. So now, Jalen Lloyd, they probably list him at 180 or so.
Yeah.
5'11", not a big bodied, Big Ten type receiver. Now he has his place. Neither's Ja'Cory Barney, but clearly Barney's been identified as a major mega player in this program. I wouldn't say Lloyd has been identified as that. Lloyd had the big year last year with Malachi.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in a year where the wide receiver landscape was much different, and Nebraska needed a couple of those young guys to step up. They just needed them. They needed them to play key moments and make a catch every now and then.
Now, what I find interesting about it is when they're doing that last year, Coleman and Lloyd making those big plays downfield.
Mm-hmm.
Lloyd has 3 touchdowns of 50 plus, right?
Yeah.
Malachi shows he's a deep threat last year. And the discussion is what? Man, when they develop, as they get older and develop as players, that's going to look really good.
Yeah, but now, I mean, think about what situation now. The situation now is you had to replace a wide receivers coach. I mean, there's that part too.
There's that part.
So
There's that part.
there was something that was not clicking
Mhm.
in terms of the development piece, or for whatever reason.
I don't know about that, Nick. I don't know about that. I don't know that they weren't developing. I think they got recruited over.
I said, okay, and that's fine, and that's part of it. But still, at the end of the day, you're still changed wide receivers coaches.
Right.
You bring in you move
That's a
on.
fact.
You move on.
Yeah.
It's not that Garrett McGuire went out and got a new job. I mean,
Mm-mm.
he did in a sense, but it was Nebraska / Matt Rule's decision / Dana Holgerson's choice to say, look, we're going to move on and go in a different direction at wide receiver coach.
Mhm.
And they brought in Dikell Shorts.
It's a
And
factor.
so through that, then, Shorts, who obviously is given credit for his recruiting in his past time, but even now this year, just looking at Nebraska and what he's done here in Lincoln in a short amount of time, you've gotten a guy who has multiple years left in Isaiah Hunter, who looks
3
good,
years left.
looks good for the outlook of the room.
40 catches this season at Cal.
It looks good for the outlook of the room. And then on top of that, you bring in a guy that has 1 year remaining, who you beat out multiple SEC schools for in Dane Key.
Certainly beat out Georgia.
And so through that, you look at the landscape of this wide receiver room for Nebraska, and you can't blame Jalen Lloyd. And I think a lot of people have a personal feel like they have a personal connection, or that they root for Jalen Lloyd more than others, because we saw flashes of his speed in year 1, and he's from the state of Nebraska.
Omaha Central. And
Omaha
his mom.
West Side.
Oh. Did he ever play at Central?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, You're right.
It was
Why
Omaha
did I
West
say
Side.
Central?
That's all right. Keep moving. You're good.
And his mom ran track here.
That is right.
I was surprised in a sense that he went into the portal, and you can always remember he can go back out of the portal and back into Nebraska's program. I found something peculiar, Nick. I don't know if you noticed this or not. This was peculiar to me. So Robin Washut on the Zoom press conference call with Matt Rule on Friday asked if there were any young players standing out. I think that was the question, and it might have been offense, but whatever. And Rule mentioned Lloyd prominently in the discussion, Jalen Lloyd. And then he was only targeted 3 times in a game. So I will tell you this. I'm in the airport in Newark reading the Pro Football Focus grades, and at 4 a.m. on what had been Sunday, I thought, Rule, this is peculiar. Rule identified Lloyd as a riser, that someone who had a good December of practice, and he was only targeted 3 times. Now, sometimes I think what coaches might do
sounds like pitching. Like, hey, I'm pitching Jalen Lloyd to the rest of the country.
That might have been it, right? Either that, or Rule had a sense of Lloyd going into the transfer portal and was trying to keep him from doing it, maybe by praising him.
Potentially.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, maybe the decision was already made. I will say this, Lloyd, I don't know. I don't know how these decisions go, because you usually don't talk to the kids about them. But he did play in the bowl game, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
He stuck around and played in the bowl game.
And who knows, the conversation might have happened on Monday morning.
Right.
Like there's that part too,
Right.
where a conversation might have happened yesterday morning, and both parties realized, hey, you know what? Maybe this is just for the best.
I think
going forward.
I think Rule can be brutally honest with people, and he'll. I'm like, even at the podium. Did you notice at the podium after the game when he just throws stuff into conversations that are interesting to me, like Ramir Johnson? He had a 6-year, but there are no guarantees. Those guys don't get them.
No.
They don't get guarantees. I mean,
No, you can't. I mean,
you can't. You're right.
Unless
that's the way to do it.
Now, I mean, even like there's people in Dylan Raiola's situation.
He's got
that Dylan Raiola has a guarantee at Nebraska, but does a player like Dylan have a guarantee like that at Georgia or like at Ohio State? Or so like there's that piece too of level of team that you're on. Michigan can go get a 5-star, but hey, Bryce Underwood is the story.
Did you think that Will Howard had a close to a guarantee?
I would imagine so. I would imagine so. In certain situations, I'm saying you can have a guarantee your freshman year, but that's not the same your sophomore or junior year. I mean, things can change in less than 24 months, like a flip of a coin.
The bottom line to me is, here's the bottom line. Lloyd, the transfer portal has created an interesting world in that in some cases it's going to be hard to develop players, because if you can't sometimes wait. Could they have said, Nick, now we're not going to go get Dane Key and we're not going to go get an Isaiah Hunter because we're going to let these guys develop under him.
Oh yeah.
We're going to let these guys develop. We don't need to go into the portal. Let's just see what Jalen can do. You can't do that. You can't really do that.
Well, no,
You
and-
wouldn't
and
do that. And now
there are other. We can't sit here and say there aren't other factors involved. You need to figure out the best way to put the best athletes around Dylan Raiola.
and now you have a transfer portal to go get players immediately.
Exactly. So like we can't sit here and it's the development piece, but it's how can we keep Dylan happy as a quarterback?
I know, but what I'm suggesting is the portal has increased the immediacy so much. You
Yes,
just go out and
of
get
course,
guys.
of course, absolutely.
If you think you're a little substandard at a place, just go get 2 guys.
Yeah.
And at receiver, you can find them.
And Nebraska, and there's a lot of narratives out there about Nebraska's NIL and things like that. Nebraska paid. Like they went out and they opened up the
I want to
checkbooks.
squelch that narrative. I don't know what narrative you're talking about that Nebraska
Well,
doesn't have a
Well, there's a lot of fake numbers that get posted. That's what I'm
Nebraska's
referring
got the
to.
money, maybe.
But what I'm getting at is that Nebraska they addressed wide receiver as a position of need, of where they need to get better at immediately, like you talk about. Not only they're able to get the flip of Cortez Mills on signing day, but then on top of that, go out and get some pretty valuable guys out of the portal at the wide receiver position. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Big proven receivers.
And so, and once again, like maybe I put too much weight on this. The ability to have a guy for multiple years, or through the portal, like an Isaiah Hunter. I'm thinking, what does an Isaiah Hunter do for Nebraska? Not even just this next year, where he's going to be very involved, but the year after.
Oh yeah,
that's like the longevity piece, because you look at what Nebraska's done, even predating Matt Rule through the portal. They've gone out and addressed the wide receiver room with skill guys, whether that's Samari Toure, whether that's Trey Palmer, whether that's Jamal Banks. But what did all those guys have in common? You had them for
by the way. Trey Palmer.
I said Trey Palmer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you had
sorry.
Gosh, I was on a roll. But
yeah,
no,
you are.
I'm kidding.
I interrupted. Go.
What I'm getting at is all those guys had the same thing and had one common denominator: 1 year. They were with Nebraska for 1 season.
And Isaiah Hunter
and Dane, I'm not saying there's not value in Dane Key.
There is,
but there certainly is. But Isaiah Hunter is so intriguing for the fact of the possibility of what it looks like past 2025.
Right. In his what it looked like at Cal, I can recite these stats off the top of my head: 40 catches, 578 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
as a freshman.
And he came here in part because it was interesting the way he said, I want to learn to stay on my feet better.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll get me more touchdowns. Now, I want to ask you this. And I think about fathers and mentors and whoever that are close to these kids. Do you say that I just wonder if Jalen Lloyd sees Nebraska going into the portal, getting these 2 guys. And by the way, I don't think they're done at the receiver position. There's at least one more guy out there that people hate it when I do this, when I tease that stuff. I don't know that I want to throw out the names, but I don't think they're done. Now, the question I'm getting at is this Jalen Lloyd? And I'm asking the question. I'm not saying this is the case, just for the sake of discussion. Is Jalen Lloyd looking at this and saying, I can't, they just went out and got 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they're going to go get somebody else. What am I supposed to do? Now, as a father or as a mentor, or a friend, would you say to him, here's what you do, Jalen, you stay and you compete.
Yeah. I mean, there's
compete.
There's also the track aspect with Jalen Lloyd too. Where we have to remember, before Matt Rule identified it, specifically was Evan Cooper identified Jalen Lloyd. Jalen wasn't going to play football.
Right.
Like we have to remember that. Everybody
do have to remember that.
We forget, I think, that he's a 2-sport guy, and this might be a conversation to where I'm done with football. I'm going to go do track.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I know things, right? Like I'm not trying to say that, but what I'm inferring is, like, we have to remember that if it wasn't for Evan Cooper, and Matt Rule made that very clear, that Evan Cooper identified Jalen Lloyd, he was one of the first guys that they identified as somebody they want in that first recruiting class. And if it wasn't for Evan Cooper, he would just be running track and he wouldn't be playing football. So there's another layer to it here, to where, is there better opportunities at track than at football. Because here's what I'd ask. Like, Swift from Lincoln had this text. It says, feels like he was underutilized and was never coached up. He has legit speed, and we couldn't find any sort of role for him. I would ask you this, like, Nebraska has a lot of those guys, or has multiple guys that are fast, because the staff obviously values speed. They love speed.
And I value size.
And there's difference, right? So it depends on the situation, to where Dane Key offers size and a little bit of speed. Isaiah Nair, although through the struggles, offered size and speed. Jamal Banks offered size. I look around and go, okay, what type of room does DeKel Shorts want to build?
Well, I think you got an idea from the two players you went out and got.
Exactly.
And I will tell you this. They're both over 6'2", and they're both over 200.
100%, 100. And so that's where it's, once again, looking at context clues of, there's going to be casualties in the room of, there's conversations going on, obviously, that we don't know about. And so this might have simply just been a conversation of, there's not much of a role for you. There's probably opportunities at track. There's opportunities maybe at lower levels of football. Maybe just reassess your choices.
Yes.
Oh, that was good.
What? I didn't mean it like that. Did I do that?
You scoffed.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Now, listen, I think you're right. And now, per the gentleman's email or text, who is that? Swifty. If you have to search hard for a role, that's automatic trouble. I mean, if there's no real role that you can identify, and he's kind of Ja'Cory Barney without as much football skill.
Yeah,
that's what he is. Ja'Cory Barney is a smaller receiver, but has a little more just pure football skill.
Yeah,
he has more that you can do with him because of that. So, and again, you got guys coming up that look a little different. I'm in that. Keelan Smith is 6'3", 210. 6'3", 210. These numbers, these heights, weights are important in this discussion. In the Big Ten. Okay. Quinn Clark is what? 6'5", 220, 215. That matters in the Big Ten.
Carter Nelson, who's going to be going back and forth.
He's going to play tight end.
Okay, well, there you have it. Never mind.
I just found that out the other day.
Okay.
Carter Nelson going to play tight end.
6'5", 230 to finish my point, though, on that.
And okay, so now you got Carter Nelson and you got Heinrich Haarberg. Now just whip them off. Now Isaiah Hunter's going to play a lot and get a lot of targets. Dane Key's going to play a lot and get a lot of targets. Heinrich's going to get a lot of targets. Carter Nelson's going to get targets.
Nelson is, yeah.
Ja'Cory Barney is probably getting more targets than anybody. All right, now you've named 5 or 6. Where if you're not in that first group, then you're not going to get a lot of targets.
Yeah.
And that might be just what we're talking about here, right? That might be it.
Yeah, I think when you look around the wide receiver room as well, I mean, there was guys that we didn't mention right there in that conversation that are notable. So then
I'm probably missing somebody.
That leaves questions about other people, about what the future looks like, because obviously the 105 number plays a factor into this, and there's obviously going to be casualties going forward.
I want to make clear on something. I know, and I don't throw out a fact like that. Carter Nelson's going to play tight end. That's the plan. He's going to be a tight end. I mean, they're going to work him in that direction, and he's being worked in that direction. Yeah. Tight end.
All right, that'll do it. Before we get to break, we have to talk about it. Before we get to break, we're all hungry for breakfast, so we should all head down to Early Bird at 19th and
all
K.
Of us?
Both of us, with lots of free parking, breakfast burritos, chicken, fried steak, and which is what? Smothered. Bill's not here, so he's not able to do this.
Smothered.
A variety of pancakes and the world famous hash holes.
Wow, my voice is hurting.
Stop by today at 19th and K, or locations in Omaha and Iowa. All right, let's get to break. When we come back, Nebraska men's basketball, they wrap up non-conference play last night against Southern. Sip and I were in the building. We'll talk about it when we come back. Early break on the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh yeah, this is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, fog and drizzle expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high around 47. Tonight, mainly clear, but patchy fog possible. The low near 30. And tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning and mainly sunny for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Treads Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Treads Central Tire Pros just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Treads Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Looking to upgrade your equipment? Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer in Nebraska and northern Kansas, has an offer you don't want to miss. Through December, purchase a model year 2022, 23, or 24 tractor, combine, or sprayer, and take advantage of financing as low as 3.9 for 60 months. That's right. Get the equipment you need with affordable payments designed to keep your operation running strong. Stop by your local Landmark Implement today or visit landmarkimp.com to learn more. Experience the Landmark difference.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Male is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie cutter solutions. Limitless Male is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break
Simple, you are an idiot.
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Early break on the ticket. Nick Sainert filling in for Jake Sorensen. Bill out today. Steve Sipple alongside. Young Ben's here per usual on a New Year's Eve. What's up?
Is he always here on New Year's Eve?
Well, just per usual, more so.
Hey.
Segment 2 is always sponsored by our friends at Beck's Hybrids. Farmers, we know that volume discounts are a major factor when ordering seed. Oftentimes, discounts are lost buying from multiple brands, but Beck's has the most diverse lineup in the marketplace. For a full farm quote, go to beckshybrids.com, and always remember the 3 F's: faith, family, and farming. Once again, Beck's Hybrids at beckshybrids.com. I interrupted you, Sipple.
No.
What were you going to say?
No. No. You're fine. You don't have to worry about that text you received.
Oh, I don't really care.
The Jack Terrier text.
That's fine.
I
could pop it up on the stream if I wanted to. But it's actually there's an inappropriate name attached to it, so
let's not do that.
Nick is full of hot air. He's like a deaf Jack Russell Terrier. Once he gets going, you can't stop him. Let Sip talk. I love it. I received a text that said we had great chemistry in the first segment, so I thought we did just fine.
I think it was great.
I'm not going to make everybody happy, Steven.
The one thing we're going to do though later in the show, we're going to reset the transfer portal.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And also there's been a couple of notable pieces of information coming out the last 24 hours or so. Nebraska has a couple of visits coming down the road here in the next couple of days. So we're certainly going to touch on those in the 7:00 hour. But first we have to talk Nebraska men's basketball. Nebraska, they wrap up non-conference play yesterday with a 77-43 victory against the Southern Jaguars. Nebraska now 11-2 after non-conference play. Their 2 losses to St. Mary's and Michigan State. As we know, which Michigan State looks like a very good basketball team. They annihilated Western Michigan last night, if I remember correctly. But the leading scorer for the Huskers last night, Connor Essegian, he finishes 50% from three-point land, 6 of 12. He also added 6 rebounds, which I don't remember seeing Connor Essegian getting a lot of rebounds. I don't remember, or recollect, there's Essegian with another board. It feels like he's gotten a couple of those. It was one of those where I looked up at the stat there at the box score at PBA, and he's got 6 rebounds. Part of that might be because Southern bricked a lot of shots, 3 of 24. They were 0 for 11 from three-point land in the first half with Southern, and shot real poorly. They at one point they were 0 for 11 from 3. They were shooting 16% from the field. Were the Jaguars. They were missing 2 of their top players as well. Nebraska, most importantly, Sip, they did essentially just what they needed to do. And they won dominantly.
They jumped on them. I mean, they were very dialed in. I imagine they had, 15th ranked UCLA on their minds. That UCLA comes to town on Saturday. So Nebraska jumped out to a 10-point lead in the first 5 minutes, and it was never a game. Southern was never a threat. You mentioned that Southern was without two of its best players. It was without its leading scorer, Michael Jacobs, who's also their point guard. So that's automatic trouble, right? But they weren't. That wasn't a team that was going to threaten Nebraska. Nebraska's a good team. Bryce came out hot. Bryce Williams scored the first 7 points of this game. I think Bryce only finished with what?
He finished with 11.
Bryce had 11. He was averaging 19.7 going in. He's having a fabulous year. You mentioned something critical. A development that happened. It happened late in the game after a lot of people maybe had even left.
Mm-hmm. There were people leaving at the under 12-minute media timeout.
So this happened, and I was impressed off air that you identified this because it was critical, and that was Gavin Griffith coming in and making a couple threes. Why why do I say that? Here's why. Because Gavin Griffith, they brought here to make threes, and entering the game, he was 3 for 19 this year. 3 for 19's that's 15.8%.
That is correct.
Okay. But then now and Robin Washut, our beat writer for Husker Online Hoops, had been talking about, man, it looks like a confidence issue. Well, he came in and nailed a couple, and he even got to the rim one time. Got to the rim.
Well, and got a couple nice boards down low. I thought in the few minutes that we saw from Gavin Griffiths, there was a change. There was a shift. Now potentially,
what kind of shift?
With confidence, I'm saying, like it looked like he was comfortable out there, and to this point in the season, he just never did. It almost, and it's interesting to see the rotation because we're starting to see a trend to where the last couple of minutes of every first half, Cale Jacobson gets on the floor. We saw that yesterday. Cale Jacobson checked in with 5 minutes and change left in the first half. So a little bit of an expanded role for him. Obviously, with Aaron Eulis out as well, that allows some other guards that like a Cale Jacobson to get some more time. And despite Aaron Eulis not being available the last 2 games, or Sam Hoiberg or whoever Fred Hoiberg decides to turn to, there hasn't been a situation to where they've brought in Gavin Griffiths. And last night, because of the margin on the scoreboard, they were able to get him some time at the end of the game in the, I think, final 3 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And he was able to score 8 points.
Hey, I want to tap your wisdom. You cover high schools more than I do, much more than I do. What was Jacobson like in high school? Cale Jacobson at Ashland?
Incredible.
Incredible.
I mean, in terms, so he played at Ashland Greenwood in Class C1. People might remember this. He hit a buzzer beater in the state championship game to knock off, I believe it was Auburn, in the Class C1 state championship game. He was special in high school. Has a brother Dane who's really good as well. But Cale is. I mean, if you go to Ashland Greenwood or you talk to their broadcast team or anybody that follows, he's a hero in Ashland.
I believe
Greenwood.
it. I mean, you played high school ball. I played high school ball. If there was a guy that was Division I, you were like, ooh,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
He was legit.
He was that guy
in Class C1.
He was that guy. So last night was a cakewalk. I mean, it was nothing. But there's a big game here on Saturday at 1 p.m. on Fox. 1 p.m. on Fox when UCLA's up to 15.
Yeah.
11-2 UCLA comes to Lincoln for a mega game. I mean, it's a mega game.
It is. And UCLA's coming off of a 3-point win against Gonzaga. I'm not sure if you saw this. A lot of people might want to go to that game to see William Kyle. William Kyle just had surgery. He just posted he had some surgery. Yeah, well, so he was in the hospital though.
So he's not playing.
He's not playing. I would expect him not to play. I mean, he just posted a photo yesterday saying that he from the hospital bed. So I mean, through it all though, Nebraska's got a plethora of opportunities ahead. I mean, that there's no other way to put it. Is Nebraska?
You could say a lot of opportunity. A plethora, but go ahead. Yes,
that's the correct word.
It is 100.
There's a lot of opportunities ahead.
What
And
do you speak of?
Against Big Ten opponents?
Yes,
I'm like it's Purdue. Maryland's an 11-2 team.
Maryland's
11-2. Iowa's 9-3. Or I believe they face off against obviously UCLA. Rutgers, which started out in Nebraska's next 5 games. I'm trying to think back to the graphic that we saw.
I got it right
here. Out of their next 5 games, I think Rutgers has the worst record at 7-5.
7-5. So no, you're right.
And they started the season as a top 25 school.
Right. They have some dynamic freshmen. So here's the schedule. All right, UCLA on Saturday. It's tough. You're right. These are opportunities. They're difficult. So okay, UCLA on Saturday, difficult game. At Iowa next. At Purdue after that. Then Rutgers here, at Maryland 11-2.
Yeah.
Let's just stick right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
Yeah.
The next 5 games are rugged.
They are.
We are going to find out a lot in the next 5.
Oh, 100%.
Man. In this league, I'm just looking down the schedule. Holy God. I mean, this
goes back to something I said yesterday on another show. I mean, Sip, think about where Nebraska, where we always said, okay, if Nebraska finishes at this spot in the final standings of the conference, this is how we'll feel. If Nebraska finishes top 8, you're probably a tournament team.
I would feel
top half of the conference. You're probably a tournament team.
I would, if they finish in the top 8 in this big conference, that would be a great accomplishment.
Yeah, and think about obviously in years past, if you're the goal or what would constitute a successful season, try to avoid playing in the Big Ten tournament on day 1. I mean, that you had to be a top, what would have been top 8 in the old Big Ten. Now you got to be top 8 in the new Big Ten. And so I don't know. I wonder. I mean, yeah, Doug on the YouTube says lots of quad 1 and quad 2 opportunities. We infatuate ourselves with the quad 1 chances, and Nebraska has, and we put a lot of weight on. I'm saying we should.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I'm saying what I'm getting at is there are plenty of chances to boost the quad 1 record.
Yeah.
And it starts on Saturday against UCLA.
Yeah, and it sort of goes without saying, but you got to take care of business at home. It's hard to win in this league on the road for anybody, not just Nebraska, for anybody. And this is why this game is huge. It's a 15th ranked team coming to town, and it's coming to your lair.
Where
it's big.
Where you have, I mean, in the last calendar year, haven't lost a game.
Exactly. And it'll be that place will be alive.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So if, as I looked yesterday on the resale market, the ticket resale market, cheapest ticket you can get is like $38, but you're sitting way up top.
Is that right?
Good. No lower bowl available.
It's gonna be fun.
It is. 1 p.m. on Fox. Like this is your national broadcast type of game. Big opportunity for Nebraska. And I'm not aware of Aaron Eulis' status for Saturday, but I think Fred Hoiberg now, in 13 games in, you kind of need to. He has a pretty good idea of how he wants this lineup to shake out, and how he wants rotations to be.
How do you think if Eulis isn't available? Obviously, Raleigh plays the point.
Yes,
but when Raleigh goes to the bench, then Bryce is playing the point.
Yeah,
which I kind of like. Bryce,
that's what his role was last year.
Yeah, he can do it. He's good at it.
That's what his role was.
Bryce is having a fabulous season. Bryce Williams, averaging over 19 a game. Raleigh Worcester, by the way, kind of fits in that Gavin Griffiths conversation a little bit too. He hit a couple threes last night that were big, Raleigh.
Yeah,
because he was shooting. Hey, went into the game, Jack Russell. He was only hitting 16.5% from 3-point line. 16.5%. He needed to hit a couple threes.
Yeah,
he's been a little turnover prone too in the last 4 games.
I walked away from PBA, and I've done this a couple of times with Raleigh with Raleigh Wooster, the Utah transfer.
I love him, by the way.
I've walked away from PBA a few times this season already and said Raleigh, his performance wasn't sexy, but that's why you go and get him. Last night,
what do you mean?
He knocks down a couple of shots, like you said, finishes with 8 points, but has 6 assists and 4 rebounds.
Yeah,
like that stat line.
Good point.
Will play.
Yes, it will.
That'll absolutely play in the Big Ten.
He's like, I agree.
You cannot undervalue Raleigh Wooster's experience
and size.
And size.
Yeah.
But I'm saying more so experience because one of the biggest issues of Fred Hoiberg teams prior to this season, at least, has been, are they able to come out of the slump, either a slump in during a game, or who's able to be the steady hand when a team or an opponent gets momentum. Raleigh Wooster and Bryce Williams are about as experienced as you can get.
And Jawan. I mean,
Jawan, yeah, but I'm saying in terms of primary ball handlers.
Okay, yeah, no,
in terms of primary ball handlers, they are about as experienced as you can get.
You know the most important stat for Raleigh Wooster last night? 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
0, because Raleigh in the last 4 games, I'm shooting off the top of my head, I think his assist to turnover ratio was 10 assists, 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers in 4 games isn't that bad, but that's not the assist turnover ratio you really want. So last night, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, and he hit a couple threes.
Yeah.
That's big. Again, Raleigh Wooster entering the game.
And maybe a part of that.
Hold on. Raleigh Wooster entering the game, 3 of 18 from the 3-point line.
What I was going to add is part of that might have been because Bryce Williams didn't play his full load of minutes last night either. And so there was also opportunities for Raleigh to be a little more active offensively, I think.
I agree. Now, here's the other thing about this team that's critical is Burke. Burke. Now, what's he shooting from the 3-point line? It's not great, I don't think. 7 of 23 going into last night, and then he was 1 of 5. So he's 8 of 28. Not great, but I will tell you this. I know I sound haughty sometimes. He's got a beautiful looking shot. He's got to make threes.
I like Burke a lot.
Burke.
I like what he does defensively more. I think through this point of the season, I like what he does and gives Nebraska defensively more so than offensively.
I'm not saying. Okay, I'm staying on offense for a second. I'm not saying you give Burke the green light from the 3-point line, but he can shoot it.
Yeah.
I mean, is he 6'10"?
I think they have him listed 6'9".
I mean, that is a
but that's where I go to the defensive side before. I mean, as we get to break, we're up against the clock. But
Burke is 6'10".
6'10". Thank you.
Burke is 6'10". And you notice how high he releases that shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture.
But you can also then flip it around on the defensive side to say for a 6'10" guy, he moves extremely well.
He's a pro.
He moves extremely well. And going back to the same Isaiah Hunter narrative for football, how about Berke, a true sophomore?
Yeah. He's a pro. Now, I don't know
of Berke.
When I say pro, it might be NBA, but it might be overseas. He's got to make a lot of money in this basketball game.
Absolutely. All right, that'll do it. Husker basketball, they play UCLA Saturday, 1 p.m. from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Probably should get your tickets now because the PBA probably going to be a sellout. It's probably going to be a sellout. It's going to be a good and exciting time on Saturday afternoon. All right, when we come back, song of the day. I'm not pleased with this one.
It's your song.
I'm still not pleased. It doesn't change it.
Did you choose it?
I did. Complete transparency. I wanted to play a specific song, and I found out Jake played it just a couple of days ago. So I had to call a last-second audible, and not pleased. I'll say that. Get ready for song of the day.
You remind me of that former Missouri quarterback that played a long time in the pros.
Who?
Come on. The former Missouri quarterback who played a long time.
There's a lot of former Missouri quarterbacks
that played a long time in the pros. You look like him.
Oh, Chase Daniel?
Chase Daniel.
Somebody, that's crazy that you say that because I was in the Midway airport and a waiter comes up and he's like, "Hey man, you Chase Daniel?" I was like,
not crazy I said it because
that is bizarre that you say that. I even texted Jake and I said, "Jake, somebody just said I look like Chase Daniels."
He's kind of a Jack Russell Terrier too.
Funny guy. We're out of here.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Treads Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Treads Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Treads Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Looking to upgrade your equipment? Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer in Nebraska and northern Kansas, has an offer you don't want to miss. Through December, purchase a model year 2022, 23, or 24 tractor, combine, or sprayer, and take advantage of financing as low as 3.9 for 60 months. That's right. Get the equipment you need with affordable payments designed to keep your operation running strong. Stop by your local Landmark Implement today or visit landmarkimp.com to learn more. Experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, fog and drizzle expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high around 47. Tonight, mainly clear, but patchy fog possible. The low near 30. And tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning, mainly sunny for the afternoon. You'll see a high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
but you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
He stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Went to a party just last night.
Today's song of the day, sponsored by Starter Heyman Jewelers, is Funky New Year by the Eagles. Give us a rating on the Starter Heyman text line. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Funky New Year by the Eagles. Once again, today's song of the day on New Year's Eve is Funky New Year by the Eagles, 1978. 1 is bad, 10 is good. I know I didn't put the title on the stream, so if you're on the video stream, I apologize. It is Funky New Year by the Eagles. I actually allowed it to play on stream. Probably shouldn't have, but there we were. So stream was able to hear it on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. 1 is bad, 10 is good. All right. Let's get your thoughts, Simple.
You are an interesting human being.
Okay.
That was a fabulous pick. I'm serious.
Is that right?
Well, first of all, I love the Eagles. I love Don Henley.
I did not know that.
Okay. I love the Eagles, and Don Henley's a dude. I mean, he's a cat. And I've never heard that song.
Okay.
And it's really good. I could see that song playing in my kitchen.
Okay.
On
New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve. After a funky new year. And I'm glad you introduced that song into my life.
Good.
Thank you, Swim.
No problem. How are we feeling? What's the rating?
High. Really high. I love that funky bass. That wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
You know.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about, Ben? Wow, 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 wow. Sweet. Good bass guitar. Wow, what a song. The Eagles are freak talents. That's a song I've never heard by the Eagles, and it's great. 9.67.
Wow.
Well, theme. It's a great song. It's Don Henley.
And for the people out there, I don't know what your favorite bands are and stuff. So, I mean, we don't do shows enough to where I know that
I'm
stuff.
a biggie. I like the Eagles a lot. I have since I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, little kid.
Yeah.
Like 10. So yeah, good job.
All right, let's where do we think Ben lands on this? I think it's going to be pretty low. I would be
where does Ben land?
Let lower than 4.
I couldn't tell. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna hit one down the fairway. Say 5.
I'm gonna say about a 3.4.
Ooh,
7.6. I'll take it.
See, you did good today.
Not according to some of the texters. Let's get to some of this. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Once again, it was Funky New Year by the Eagles. All right. We have Rod in South Lincoln, age 61, says nice backup song, 7.5. Rick from Wahoo gives it a 6. John in Southeast Lincoln says nope, a 4.0. Bill and Bennett, 6.25. Bubba gives it a 0. Mike in Dalton says 4. Corey in Lincoln says 2. Nick Googled New Year's Eve songs and failed. That is actually not what I did. I'll tell you exactly how it happened before in just a moment. 4931 says 10 for originality. Never heard that one before.
No, nowhere about it.
Brian says great band, bad song, 3 out of 10. Triple H's dad gives it an 8. Derek in a car says 6.35. Jane gives it a 7.5. Isaac gives it an 8. We have
Bird in there.
I have not seen Bird yet. Jennifer gives it a 7.5. Hubby says 5.4. Thanks, Nick. Never heard that song. There it is. Brad from Baldwin gives it an 8.
Hey, hello, Brad.
Ron with a 1.1.
Hey, I gotta say, can you stop for a second?
Yeah.
I gotta address Brad individually. Brad, you texted me last night. I don't know if I got back to you, or no, I tried to get back to you, but sometimes the texts don't send in PBA.
No.
So there you go.
The reception is not great.
Right.
They talked about upgrading the cell towers at Memorial Stadium. They need to figure out something with PBA. Because I was there as a fan last night, and it wasn't great.
Do you notice sometimes they don't go through?
You weren't able to reply.
Yeah.
You weren't able to load anything either.
Right.
Let's go to the stream. Let's see what some people want on the stream. Chris P. gives it a 4. Conservative Husker says 6. Scott with a 1.5. Nels in Montana, 7.5. Bolt says never heard this song before. 7.
Hello, Bolt. I saw him last night.
7.125. Midwest Depressed gives it an 8. And then BWD 51 with an 8 as well. The song I wanted to play, just for context, was Frank Sinatra's New York. And the reason why was because people have asked me, what was your favorite moment of New York City? And you might not know this about me. When me and my buddies go out and golf, we listen to three bands, three singers.
What do you mean when you're golfing?
When I'm golfing, and it's Frank.
You listen to music?
Frank Sinatra is one of them.
You listen to music
Yeah,
while
we
you're
have
golfing?
we have a Bluetooth speaker. This is very popular. This is very popular. You stick a Bluetooth speaker on the car.
I have to get with it.
And so, anyway, Frank Sinatra is one of the three in rotation.
What
for
else?
us.
What else?
It doesn't. Those don't matter.
No, they do.
They don't matter.
No, they
because they are
absolutely matter.
completely opposite genre. It's a guy named Post Malone and a guy named Quinn 92. Doesn't matter. So anyway, Frank Sinatra. And so I was like, I want to play New York by Frank Sinatra because the highlight of the New York City experience was when Nebraska's celebrating on the field. I don't know if you recognize this. Yankee Stadium played New York by Frank Sinatra on loop for about 15 minutes. The song would stop and they just start it right back up again. And I have a video of Frank Sinatra being played in Yankee Stadium. And I was like, if this isn't extremely special, I don't know what is. Nebraska breaks.
You're extremely special.
Nebraska breaks the bowl losing streak. And then they play Frank Sinatra in Yankee Stadium.
Hey,
that was
that's
the
really
highlight.
cool. I'm going to tell you something. If Bill were here, our friend Bill,
yes,
he would be taken aback so far by that revelation of music being played during golf.
This is not that is not a revelation.
To me, it is.
Everybody does it.
I can't wait for Bill's return.
They have Bluetooth speakers built on carts. Like on the screen above it, you can connect your phone to it at certain courses that you connect your phone and it plays through the speaker.
I just had no idea this was going on in the world.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't play golf, but when I played golf, in my youth, there was no Bluetooth speakers, obviously, and there was no music playing on the golf course. This is amazing. This is startling to me.
So the Frank Sinatra is one that me and my fellow 20-year-old buddies have in our rotation.
And I will tell you something, Nick. I know who Post Malone is.
Do you?
Yes. It's a popular group with
Very
the youth.
popular.
With the not a group, it's a singer.
He's a singer.
Yeah, he's a tall man with a beard.
He just switched genres as well.
And he's doing some country now.
Doing country.
Yes.
Nice job, Sipple.
Wait, I'm not totally out of the loop. I am out of the loop on the third group you
Singer,
identified.
just singer. Quinn 92. He's playing halftime next week at Detroit.
I can
for the
hardly
Lions.
wait for that.
All right, let's go to break. When we come back, we have not talked playoffs yet tonight. The college football playoffs return. Penn State and Boise State get us rolling tonight. We'll also kind of put a bow on Nebraska football for the day. We have some things that we want to definitely get to regarding the Huskers and much more playoff discussion in hour 2. Early break on the ticket. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, We're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit LOVBOMA.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie-cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Bush.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers.
So-
I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans. So I'm out.
This is Early Break.
That is right. Hour number 2. We are a go for early break on New Year's Eve. Hope everybody's got some exciting plans this evening. Mine involve probably being in bed by 9 p.m. Do you care about the ball dropping at all?
No.
No. I don't.
Now, wait a second.
You know what I did realize?
You'll be out. You'll be out, right?
No.
Wait. Are you?
I will be home.
Really?
I might. I guess I might hang out with some buddies, but like we're not gonna go out. We don't go out. I'm telling you, I don't do this. What happened in New York? I don't do. I don't stay out till
revelry.
I don't stay out till midnight.
There's not gonna be revelry tonight.
No. I mean, I might have a couple beers with some buddies, but that's it.
Because there was revelry in New York
there
City.
was.
Well, where there's Jake, there's revelry.
Yeah, which Jake has this narrative that I can't hang. Like I can't stay out late.
You and Jake, here it comes.
But I proved over the course of New York City that I could.
Yes, you did.
And Thursday night, you would know this and have my back if you were there, but you dipped out on Thursday. He was the one who was like, Nick, it's 1:30. We should probably go back.
You were at that Jack O'Doyle's at 1:30?
Yeah.
I'm saying Jack O'Doyle's. Is that right?
Jack Doyle's. Jack Doyle's pub. It was right around the corner from our hotel.
You guys were there till 1:30?
Yeah, it was late. I mean, it was later than I expected.
That's incredible.
With a bunch of other media people.
Right, they stayed there, and
We
those
stayed there late.
Those media people showed up like at 7. 5 hours.
That's why we're not naming names.
5 hours of
That's
revelry.
why we're not naming names, because then Friday night we were all able to do the job.
Jack Doyle's, by the way, you could that reminded me like of O'Rourke's.
Yeah.
It was very like
it was great. McKinney's also.
Yeah.
Shout out to McKinney's, our friends.
Yeah, Manhattan. I mean, it's in Manhattan. You just walk in,
Yep.
and you could be in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah. Guinness was delicious. Oh yeah, the Guinness was delicious. So
I had a couple old fashions before I dipped.
I know.
I did.
I know. I was really disappointed.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I might. Buddies might. I mean, there's people that texted and was like, "Hey, we're gonna be here. Come on out." I don't
Okay,
know.
tonight you will be in before midnight.
I will not come downtown.
I'll be damned.
I'll be out. I mean, I would be surprised if I do. Who knows? You never know where the night's going to take
I'm watching football tonight.
100%. 6:30 p.m. kickoff between Penn State and Boise State. By the way, hour 2 sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank, member FDIC. Locations in South Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane, and also at 70th and Pioneers. Shin Daddy, as we know, off until next year because of the holidays. Some reaction on the text line, Sip, before we continue with things. Post Malone looks like he smells like cat pee, was the text that we received about Post Malone.
That's an interesting way to describe somebody.
It's an unnamed texter says, yes, Nick, I absolutely enjoy when people impose their music tastes upon me while I'm trying to play some golf and enjoy some peace and quiet of the game.
What would you say to that?
In response to that specifically, I would say you're playing golf with or around the wrong people, because if they're playing music loud enough to where you can hear it and it imposes on your tranquility of golf, well then yeah, it turns out to be a problem. Don't play. We don't blare the music. We're not playing the music for everybody around us. We're playing the music for just us two in the cart.
I will tell you this, Nick. I will not hear anything today that interests me more than that people are playing music on golf courses now. I had no idea.
Is that right?
That was a thing. And I am fascinated by it. I mean, it is
wow.
A wow.
I don't know. So
wow,
here we go.
in a mocking tone.
Joe in
Wow.
Boulder says, as an old like you, Sipple, and I am even older and an avid golfer, you've just come to accept it. This is going to be the norm when golfing with 20-year-olds. I don't like it, but it's the reality. Once again, it shouldn't be
Who is that gentleman?
Joe in Boulder.
Thank you, Joe.
It shouldn't be imposing on people's games around you. You're not playing the music for the carts around you. You're playing the music for your two people in the cart.
Rick Heyman.
Yeah.
A fellow old. Rick is a fellow old, and Rick is a tremendous friend. I mean, and a wonderful friend of the show and a participant in the show. Sip, he says. Everyone in capital letters has speakers in their golf.
There you go. And then how about this one?
I don't have a golf.
This is Sambo from Lincoln, says Sipple has no clue about golf culture these days. Music is a must while playing. They haven't.
I am just astounded
Yeah.
by this. I cannot wait for Bill to weigh in on this.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that's just here that's what you do
When
nowadays.
Bill Bush returns to this show, this will be a wonderful topic. And my prediction on Bill, I'm going on the record, will be he is aghast that this is happening. Aghast.
Once again, you're not trying to jam out to heavy metal. Like, it's not supposed to be this. It's just music in the background for me and my buddies. It makes the I don't know,
sets the feel
better. I mean, I don't know. It's just something going on. You're jamming out, whether it's like Red Hot Chili Peppers or whether it's Frank Sinatra. I mean, there's nothing better than hearing Frank Sinatra at a 7 a.m. round when you're teeing off.
Yeah.
There's something calming about it for a lot of people.
Okay.
And maybe that's just in this sensory overload generation that we all are part of.
Oh,
Where it's
we're
like
a part of
you
it.
always got to listen or doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always got to be hearing something.
I find these conversations, these generational conversations, to be always fascinating.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
There you have it. So, okay,
Thank
let's
you, Dan. We better talk football.
Let's move on.
Let's talk ball.
Let's reset the transfer portal here.
Let's talk ball.
Because I think it's good. We've gotten so caught up in who's Nebraska brought in, who is visited, who's committed, who hasn't committed, who's available, who's Nebraska lost, who's a casualty because of the 105 number, well, who's getting told to leave, all that, so forth and so on, that we need to reset it. Simple.
Let's reset it. Let's reset. As I look at the list, the most interesting positions and players are the DL edge guys, D-line edge guys, and where they ended up. Just real quickly, I'm not going to, I think people are mildly interested in this or real interested in it. Jamari Butler got paid quite a bit of money to go to LSU.
He did.
I did not know that Vincent Carroll Jackson ended up at UConn.
Jim Mora had a hell of a statement yesterday.
And that was?
Essentially, we know the teams that are tampering with UConn's players, and we will come after you.
Oh, wow. Big talk. What are you going to do?
I'm just telling you, Sip.
What's he going to do? I thought UConn won a bowl game or something. Didn't they win a bowl game?
They did.
Who
They beat North Carolina.
Nice win.
A Mac Brownless.
Princewell ended up at Ole Miss. James Williams at Florida State. Kai Wallen. I did not know Kai Wallen. Oregon State found a home. Brody.
Trent Bray.
Oh.
Trent Bray at Oregon State, obviously. Head coach.
Right.
Former linebacker coach. Was the interim.
Huge Springsteen fan. Trent Bray.
That's a good fact.
Brody Tagaloa doesn't have a place. Mekhi Bayor, Missouri.
Yep.
He's a linebacker. Didn't miss him in the game, I didn't think.
No, because you had some younger guys step up. Most importantly, or most notably, Vincent Shavers. I mean, you had people step up, and that's kind of what you wanted to see. I thought Saturday's game was interesting because I asked actually Jake this question when we were sitting next to each other. The only reason I didn't ask you is because you were, in the actual good spot of the stadium seats. I asked him, I said, how much are you valuing their play today, but then also considering what it could look like in 2025? And basically we both mutually agreed, like, yeah, win's important today, but it's going to be interesting to see, okay, who's some of those guys that we can talk about in the offseason as playing big roles in 2025.
Shavers.
And Vincent Shavers is certainly one of those.
And you know who else is? McGahee.
Mm-hmm.
Willis McGahee played 27 snaps, and I thought he played really well.
You could also say Keona Davis.
Davis.
I mean, there's three very notable names.
Huge names.
You know who I actually really enjoyed seeing make a big play on Saturday too was Cameron Lenhart.
Cam Lenhart's big.
I mean,
he's big in this conversation.
I have no problem saying this. I expected him to be one guy that is not a part of this.
Yeah, I expected him to go in the portal too.
1000%.
But I was glad he stayed.
I agree.
Because I think he has starter written all over it.
Yeah.
I mean, what would your starting front three be right now? Van Poppel, Lenhart, Keona Davis.
What if I told you I don't think they do 3-man front?
Well, you put a Jack stand up there. I mean, you had MJ Sherman standing up at the line of scrimmage a lot of the time.
You did, but I think I would not be so surprised to see Nebraska go with a little more of a traditional look.
Okay, now my question is, I named if they stay in a 3.
Yes,
I mean it's.
But yeah, I would
listen,
agree with you there.
Do not get so like locked in on this 4-3-3-4.
It doesn't
changes.
Matter. And Nebraska can say they ran a 3-3-5 all they want, but a lot of times they put 4. I mean, so it doesn't matter.
Now, we left out Williams Winery.
Yep.
We left out Desan McCullough. Those two guys are going to play. When I say this, it sounds good to me. It sounds good. Van Poppel, I think, can play. Now, he's not Ty.
No.
Ty is what became a monster.
Ty made some money on Saturday, like in terms of NFL money.
I think he started becoming a monster about midway through the season.
Yeah.
And he's going to be impossible to replace. Never say impossible. But those guys were rattling off Williams Winery, Keona Davis, Van Poppel, Cam Lenhart. Who we missing? Come on.
Obviously Willis McGahee, Vincent Shavers. I mean, like,
I'm talking about big guys, bigs.
Elijah Judy.
Thank you. I was missing Judy.
Yep.
Judy's critical. Elijah Judy is critical in this conversation.
Yeah.
He's a very athletic big. And now he's not huge. He's not a huge big, but he's athletic. And so I feel good about the front seven. About Nebraska's front seven going forward. I feel good.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Why is it interesting? Because they lost a lot, but I still feel good about it. Getting Winery and Desan McCullough, those were big. Now, Desan McCullough is not a big. I think he's probably listed 6'5", 235 in that region.
Had 93 tackles.
Looks like a jack linebacker to me.
Yeah.
Outside linebacker.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think, and once again, like you said it, Sip, we get so caught up in the scheme and whether or not it's true. I mean, we do. And it gives people an opportunity to sound smart because they can say 4-man front, 3-man front. I mean, there's that part to it. At the end of the day, you got to figure out a way to generate a pass rush. And I think when the reason I mentioned, 4-man is simply they're not going to have the big space eater like they did with like a Nash and a Ty going forward. That's what I said. Cause we're getting texts of what indication do you have? That's just
of what?
Of potentially going to a more 4-man down or whatever it may be. Yeah. 4 down linemen. And the reason I bring that up is like, you think about the past years with like a Damian Daniels and Nash Hutmaker this year, they didn't show up.
How about like the Davis brothers?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But what I get is like what they did really well. And I think about Damian Daniels about this a lot is where he didn't really make a whole lot of tackles. He didn't call his name a whole lot. He just was big. So he took up a lot of space and he opened a lot of opportunities for linebackers from the second level to get through and make a tackle.
For sure.
And that's what happened in years past with Nash up there is it allowed guys like John Bullock or Henrik or Henrich or whoever or Reimer to go and make a play.
Yep.
In the middle in all that cluster.
Mm-hmm.
Now going forward, you're taking away two of the biggest bodies that Nebraska's had defensively,
and that's going to be hard to replace.
And maybe it's going to be difficult to replace, but you're replacing them with more athleticism.
I think so.
I think there's that to it.
When you think about that, I'm thinking about Judy and Keona Davis.
Yeah,
those guys. Keona Davis is not going to be a 300-pound lineman. I don't think.
No,
he's athletic.
There's a role for him where you don't have to have him at.
Yeah, and I don't think you want him at 300. I mean, I've talked to Jay Foreman about this. I hope Jay doesn't mind me invoking his name in this conversation. I don't think Keona Davis is a guy you push to 300. I think you keep him at 285 around that and let him be that big athletic lineman. Van Poppel, on the other hand, yeah, I think you might be a 300-pound lineman at some point. Right,
which and
is he 300 now? What is he?
In Nebraska's, this was one of the untold discussions or not talked about enough conversations. Riley Van Poppel redshirting this year, and for him to not only be number one willing to do that after the freshman year that he had, but then also it all stems from obviously having Nash and Ty choosing to come back for 2024 season. But the ability to have Riley Van Poppel redshirt is of the utmost value for Nebraska.
Very valuable. He's a great kid. I talked to him at the Bull site. And, he said what you'd expect, which is it was a great year for me to develop. He said it wasn't that easy. It wasn't always easy. At first, it was harder, but you settle into that scout team world, and you can learn a lot.
Yeah,
and you can improve a lot as a scout team player. Other resetting the portals. Stephon Thompson. How many of these guys ended up at Florida State? Stephon Thompson ended up at Florida State. James Williams ended up at Florida State. I guess that's it. I expected a couple more too. I thought Prince Will might. I thought Jamari might. But it looks like just 2 guys ended up at Florida State. Offensively, I guess the big one was Borkacher going to A&M, right? And Dowdell and Dante to Kentucky. It makes you wonder how much money Kentucky gave Dante Dowdell, which you probably got my guess is I'm just going to say a hefty raise.
Yeah.
Kalen, fortunately, I think good fortune, he got to Virginia. So he's at a good ACC program.
What's funny about that, Virginia took 2 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia took 2 quarterbacks as well. So it would probably be a similar situation for Daniel Kalen where he'll take a year and kind of learn in Virginia, because they took an experienced guy out of the portal. And so
it's hard. That world's hard if you're not.
It is.
If you're not deemed kind of elite like Dylan, then you're battling. You're just in an eternal battle, which that's the way it should be, by the way.
It is.
Now, Dylan doesn't have a battle. He's already been named the starter.
Yeah.
Matt Rule last month, or this month, I guess still, said he's the starter. He's our starter for 2025. It doesn't always work that way, right? But it worked that way with Jeff Sims. He was a starter.
Well, because especially with the people that you bring in, I mean, a lot of times at quarterback is you have to figure out a way to surround surround him with good players offensively. And Nebraska brings in Jeff Sims, an experienced quarterback, in year 1 of Matt Rule. You're gonna be able to make the assumption that he's the starter going forward. This is completely unreal. I mean, it's related to the transfer portal. I was thinking about this on the flight home. Don't forget, do you remember where we were a year ago at this time, essentially, Sip? Maybe a little bit more than a year ago. We were talking about transfer portal and Nebraska needing to go to the portal for a quarterback. Do you remember the two of the most likely guys that could have landed at Nebraska?
Hold on, I can play this game with you.
This is a good one.
I can play this game with you. One was Kyle McCord.
That is what. And what did he do for Syracuse? He led him to a 10-win season.
He was excellent. Had an excellent year. The other one was the kid at Arizona State.
That is right.
Sam Levitt, who, it's funny you mentioned this because I interviewed both of them last year.
Who's now in the college football playoff, getting ready to play Texas tomorrow.
And they were very much considering Nebraska. In fact, I tell the story on our show. Kyle McCord, I happen to know someone who's a waiter there. They take those prospects to the Green Gateau.
That is true, correct.
And McCord, I believe, was at the Green Gateau when the news of Dylan wanting to play for Nebraska hit the press.
Yeah.
McCord with his people were at the Green Gateau. And it was pretty evident what was going on. Levitt, I know for a fact, strongly considered Nebraska because I talked directly to him.
Nebraska was one of the first ones to reach out to Sam Levitt.
Smart. I mean, you got to give Marcus Satterfield credit here. He identified good quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, they went after Ward too.
Yeah.
Levitt, Ward, McCord, a guy that ended up at Baylor whose name,
You're going to talk about DeQuan Finn?
No.
Okay, not DeQuan. DeQuan went from Toledo to Baylor.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Finn. It was, maybe the guy was at, I don't know. I shouldn't have went down.
Well, yeah. There was the one he transferred to Mississippi State.
That's it. He went from Baylor. Baylor to Mississippi
Charlie
State.
Brewer. Was it Charlie Brewer?
I don't know if it was Charlie.
Hold
Brewer.
on, we're gonna find this out.
Go down this route.
Go ahead and go.
Okay, so, but man, they had good quarterbacks in their sights. Levitt. I hope people understand. Was very much considering Nebraska.
Blake Shapen.
I remember Blake Shapen. So he went from Baylor to
Mississippi State.
Now, he was the one in the group that I thought, no. I don't know how he did this year. I don't know how he did.
Well, Mississippi State didn't do well, so there's that.
But he was the one in the group that I watched the film and said, no, don't do this. Don't do this. He's a little guy. McCord and Levitt were dudes, and I can remember Grant. Do you recognize the name Graham Couch?
Yeah,
he writes for the Lansing newspaper, and Couch told me Levitt. God dang, I got to give Couch a shout out. Graham Couch, who's a veteran sports writer in Lansing, Michigan. He said, Sipple, Levitt is a special. He's going to be a great quarterback in college football. Now, Couch was way ahead of the game because Levitt didn't do much at Michigan State. At Michigan State.
No.
And Couch, public shout out to my friend. He said Levitt is going to be a dude. And I just thought of that right now. Because I wondered, like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you sure about this?
There he
So,
was.
yeah.
And now, I mean, Arizona State has, I mean, because he redshirted last year. He's a redshirt freshman this year.
He's a good player.
So Sam Levitt. But I find that fascinating. I mean, Nebraska's fine with their quarterback situation. This isn't me saying, man, I wish I had.
No, Dylan's
I'm not saying that. I'm not in for, I'm not proposing that conversation at
Nebraska
all.
got their QB.
Yeah, 100%. But it's funny as we hindsight 2020, man, it's really interesting to see how those pieces fell because
it really
Kyle McCord did the job at Syracuse.
He did.
And now, I mean, he's the ACC all-time passing leader.
McCord,
that's what he did this year.
I watched him in a game on a Friday night, and I thought, whoa, strong arm, decisive.
Yeah.
Strong arm, decisive. Now, the thing I wondered about McCord is can't run. He doesn't run much.
No.
Can run a little bit. He's kind of like Dylan.
I was
that
saying,
way.
essentially Dylan?
Yeah, kind of like Dylan in that way. Gun.
Yeah.
Pocket passer. Now I'm gonna say this about Dylan for football discussion, okay?
Yeah.
I'd watch for this. I think Dylan's gonna lose weight. I think he's gonna get his body a little right, and he's gonna run more next year. I'd watch for that.
All right, we'll leave it with that. Before we get to break, talk to you about our friends at Mid-Plains Advisors. Visit Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors. Call them today at 402-730-7387 to schedule your free financial consultation today. Once again, that's Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors. All right, when we come back, college football playoff. It starts tonight with Boise State and Penn State. No more home sites. We're all at neutral sites from now on. And we got 3 games as well in the playoff tomorrow. We'll talk about them, give you our thoughts, and then play the game show when we come back.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Midwest Bank on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Early Break on The Ticket, Hour 2, sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. If you've missed any of the show, make sure you check it out on the podcast page, wherever you get your podcasts. Good stuff so far. A quick moving show. Talked a lot of Husker football with Jalen Lloyd entering the portal. Talked Husker men's basketball and their controlling win last night against Southern. Talked about the big game coming up on Saturday at 1 p.m. on Fox against number 15 UCLA. We don't have shows tomorrow. We are back on Thursday. There's going to be tons of playoffs to break down on Thursday. Before we dive into that, though, I want to tell you about our friends at Trados. Trados, they believe there's a better way to market your grain. Get started today with a visit to gotrados.com. That's GOTREDAS, trados.com. Gotrados.com. All right, Simple. We have a lot of bowl games today. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 bowl games today. It starts off at 11 a.m. on ESPN with a guaranteed, it's the ReliaQuest Bowl, Alabama and Michigan.
Good God. Now, wait a second. Let's back up. This is all today?
This is all today.
All
so
right,
today,
slowly now for
Alabama versus Michigan.
Yes.
Louisville and Washington. at 1 p.m.
Okay, I could do that.
South Carolina and Illinois at 2 p.m.
Okay. And now hold on. Are you interested in that one? I am.
Very, and I want to tell you why. I'm confused what Shane Beamer's doing at quarterback. They have Lenora Sellers, who's going to be the quarterback of their future. And they went and got Air Nolan from Ohio State. Maybe not so puzzled by the decision of South Carolina to bring him in.
Wow.
But puzzled by Air Nolan's decision to transfer there.
Huh.
I get it's an SEC program.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
But Lenora Sellers has led South
the
Carolina
guy.
to a 9-3 year as a freshman. He's theirs. He's the dude.
Huh.
So there's that. Baylor and LSU.
No interest.
Not too concerned about it.
Zero.
Garrett Nussmeier doesn't really move the needle for me at quarterback for LSU. And then it all leads up to a 6:30 kick in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Penn State against Boise State. We'll talk about tomorrow's games in just a moment, and maybe we'll push those for the spillover.
What a day. What a day.
It's a great day of football starting with 11 o'clock in Alabama, Michigan.
What a day.
Does Michigan have a shot? I feel like this
Of course
narrative.
Michigan has a shot.
I feel like this narrative has completely flipped on Michigan and Sharon Moore after they beat Ohio State and they get Bryce Underwood, the quarterback.
Why would
recruit.
you ask me if they have a shot after
Because
Michigan?
they're a 7-5 team that Donovan Edwards isn't playing.
Don't interrupt. Michigan,
Jack Russell, Terrier.
Michigan went to the big house and beat Ohio State.
I
Yes,
get that.
They can beat Alabama. Yes. Alabama went to Norman and scored 3.
That is correct.
Yes. Michigan can beat Alabama. Yes. Unequivocally, yes.
If I asked you what the spread was on this game, what would you project it at?
Okay.
Because this does not surprise me.
I do not
in the
know, and I will
slightest.
full disclosure. I have no idea on this.
This does not surprise me in the slightest.
Michigan, Alabama. Okay, let's make sure that I don't expose myself as a fool. Alabama must be a 7-point favorite.
16.5. I'm not surprised at all.
I'm sorry, Ben. I let you down again. I let you down again. Oh, how could that be? They're a 16-point favorite. Then bet Michigan. Yes. Listen to the old man.
Or you can listen to the young guy and
Dude,
are we going to do this?
That's given too much. Yeah, we are doing this.
This is a Michigan team that lost to Washington. They lost to Texas 31-12. They lost to Oregon 38-17.
They went to Indiana and pushed
Indiana
them to the brink.
20-15.
To the brink in Indiana. At Indiana.
Would you say that Indiana and Alabama are relatively even?
Not necessarily.
Is Indiana better?
Take Alabama.
Okay. I'm gonna have this conversation with you to where I firmly get you into the Alabama side.
Alabama at 16.5, you're giving away far too many points there.
I don't know what Michigan's gonna do.
What do you mean you don't know you know exactly what they're gonna do? They're gonna try to run it because they can't throw it.
I guess. I mean, yes, yeah. I mean, Davis Warren's your leading passer. Alex Orji's gonna enter the portal. I mean,
And they're gonna play very good
The
defense.
quarterback with Michigan right now, it doesn't even matter who plays today because that's not going to be who's playing next year.
Well, I know,
for the
but we're
Wolverines.
worried about the point spread right
Yes.
now, not next year.
Yeah.
Hey,
So anyway,
okay, now I'm
let's talk-
interested.
let's
We're
talk-
not going to do our own side wager on this, or are we?
we absolutely can.
Okay, let's
I-
just
I
do
will-
a
I will put
gift
whatever-
card to Outback.
Sure,
Okay.
sure for a meal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gift card, so $25.
perfect. So for me,
That
it's
we're on, by the way.
Yeah.
So
We're
the
on.
bet is what?
that Alabama covers 16.5.
Oh, Outback, here I come.
Do
Make
we-
it $30, by the way. Outback
30?
The
We're not getting blooming onions here, Sybil.
no. The Outback prices are up.
Are they really?
Yes, they're up.
I
$30. You need 30 for a good meal.
Okay,
That won't
that's
even
fine.
cover the drink, probably.
Are we're having a drink too? Goodness sakes, I didn't realize I was paying for a family of 2 to eat at Outback. Anyway, I'll take it by this afternoon because that's maybe where I'll go for New Year's Eve. Is
We're
Outback Steakhouse. All right. Okay, let's we'll talk about the other 3 playoff games in the spillover with AD tonight. Penn State and Boise State. Penn State an 11.5 point favorite.
Okay, interesting.
Boise State got shirts ordered that say "Count us out." They're the higher seed. So there's a little bit of interesting narrative there. But so go ahead and count us out, I guess. But what do you see happening in Penn State tonight? I think Penn State's physicality is going to wear down on Boise. Ashton Genty has 129 yards to beat the all-time single-season record. So there's that piece to it.
I saw what James Franklin said yesterday was interesting. Somebody said that referred to Genty as one of the best running backs in college football. He said he's one of the best running backs in the history.
Yeah.
In the history of college football. Oregon ran on Penn State. That's why. I mean, my temptation is to say, no, we'll see what Genty does against that Penn State defense. They'll shut him down. They didn't shut down Oregon's run game.
Yeah,
they didn't. Oregon ran on him.
Yeah,
I mean, put a number on him. So I like Penn. I'd like Penn State better in a cold weather game. Although Boise State can play in the cold.
Well, I believe it's in Arizona because it's the Fiesta Bowl.
This is a hard one for me to read. In part, full disclosure, because I haven't seen Boise State.
Oh yeah. Well, they play pretty late. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
That you haven't seen them.
I want Penn State to win.
How much of this do you wish that the second round, the second round was at a home site?
I kind of wish that.
Would this game be more intriguing to you if it was at Boise? If Penn State had to travel?
I don't know if it would be much more intriguing. I'd welcome it, but yeah. I'm fine with the neutral right now.
I think after we saw frankly, the success of last week a week and a half ago, where the playoffs at college campuses were a hit. Fans welcomed it, obviously.
Big hit.
And it was cool to see the atmosphere on TV.
Oh, God, was it cool. I mean, the Ohio State atmosphere was memorable.
Absolutely. And I thought Notre Dame's in the snow. I filled in that day with Notre Dame and Indiana. I filled in on the show.
Oh, you did.
And we talked about how cars were lining up at 7 a.m. for that game.
That's right.
And so through it, there's a piece of it where it's kind of intriguing to think about, okay, what if they hosted the second round? Boise, because that would give the top 4 seeds a chance to host a game.
Interesting. Now, hey, I want to go back to this South Carolina thing because we got a text from our friend Greg. Happy New Year, by the way, Greg.
Yeah, I might have been wrong on Lenora Sellers.
Greg, no, I'm not. No, you're not wrong. This is Greg in South Carolina, who's a friend of the show and a great friend, and I want to wish him a happy New Year. He said South Carolina's, you fill in the blanks here, okay, Swim. He said South Carolina's QB situation and Beamer's decision makes perfect sense.
Ooh.
He said they need depth, as Sellers is a fantastic runner who missed games due to injury this year. Okay, here's the kicker, okay? Greg in South Carolina coming in hot.
Okay? That's fine.
A quality backup QB makes them a playoff likelihood in 2025.
But
LO.
LO. It was less about what Beamer's decision was to bring in Aaron Nolan. It was less that wasn't the surprising piece for me, because everybody's going to look to add depth. I get that. That's what Nebraska will try to do at multiple positions. But from the Aaron Nolan perspective,
right?
That's what was puzzling for me.
That's a little puzzling.
Because what am I getting pitched on right now?
Didn't it make
okay,
sense?
so hey, you're going to play if Lenora Sellers gets hurt.
Wait, when he gets hurt.
How is that? How do you operate that way?
It's questionable.
You see where I'm coming from, though.
It's questionable. But you run the quarterback in the SEC.
100.
Is he gonna get through it? You think he's gonna get through it? No, you think he's gonna get through it?
But you just bank on a dude getting hurt?
Well, a little bit.
And hey, we're gonna go. Hey, this is my pitch to you. If I'm sitting across from you, it's going to say, Sip. You can come play quarterback. Well, all the time? No. When this guy gets hurt. Well, how do you know he's going to get hurt?
It's not that simple, as you know, because there is competition every day.
There is.
And maybe Aaron Nolan. Is that his name? Aaron Nolan?
Aaron Nolan.
Maybe his thinking is, okay, number one, we're going to run the ball at the position. So we're going to need multiple guys.
Yeah.
Number two, I'm not going to go beat him out. I just might go beat the guy out.
There you go. All right, it's time for the game show. We're late, Sip, because you had to bring up South Carolina again.
Greg is our friend.
I know. Happy New Year to Greg. All right. If you feel confident about Nebraska bowl games, I'll tell you the bowl game. I'll tell you what Nebraska, or excuse me, I'll tell you the bowl game, and I'll tell you the score. Some of these Nebraska lost in, some of these Nebraska won.
And what do I got to name?
The team that they played.
I think I can do that.
The team that they played. If you feel like you can beat SIP at Nebraska bowl games, give us a call now, 402-464-5685, to win a business box of bagels from our friends at Bagels and Joe. Shut Up Simple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
That is right. Shut up, Sipple. It's time. All right. We have a contestant. It is Alex. Alex, how do you feel about Nebraska bowl games?
Good.
Oh, Alex feels good. How do you feel, Sipple?
All right, Alex, and this is where I have to. I always say this: the potential for embarrassment is extremely high. I've covered every one of these games you're going to talk about, but it's a lot of games run together, and there's literally games I don't remember being at. So I don't know. I will see how it goes.
All right, for a business box of bagels online, first question to you, Alex. Who did Nebraska beat 24-19 in the 2014 Gator Bowl?
I remember that.
Was that Georgia?
It was
I
Georgia.
remember that one like it was yesterday.
Yep, that was the game 99-yard touchdown pass from Tommy Armstrong to Quincy Enunwa.
Quincy Enunwa somehow got behind that secondary.
Similar weather to what we saw on Saturday.
It was
Kind of
rainy.
rainy, crappy day out in Florida.
All right. Georgia had that really good running back.
Yes. Todd Gurley.
Yes.
Would have been Todd Gurley.
Good pull there.
All right, there we go. 1-0, Alex. All right, Simple. Who did Nebraska lose 17-14 against in the 2002 Independence Bowl?
Ole Miss.
That is right. It's Ole Miss. These are probably layups, but it is what it is.
David Cutcliffe.
1-1 is your score.
That was David Cutcliffe and Manny.
Here we go, Alex. Next question to you. We're all tied up one apiece. Who did Nebraska lose 19-7 to in the 2010 Holiday Bowl?
Was that Washington?
It was Washington.
I can tell you this by way of insight. The head coach for Nebraska that year didn't want to play in that game, and his team played like that.
Do you remember who was coaching? So Nebraska, this was a 10-win Nebraska team.
I know.
That went to the Holiday Bowl.
I know.
Washington entered the game 6-6.
Right, and Nebraska had played Washington.
Yes. And
Bo didn't want to be there.
If I asked you a trivia question, who was the coach for Washington at that time?
It's
notable in college football world today.
How do I not know
Notable in college football's world today.
How do I know? How do I not know this? Who is it?
Steve Sarkisian.
That was Sark.
Sark was at Washington in
That
that
was
bowl
Sark.
game that Washington, a 6-6 team, beat 10-3 or 10-2 Nebraska 19-7. Jake Locker was the quarterback.
Do you remember Bo Pelini?
I do.
Do you remember how surly he could be?
I do.
That month he was incredibly surly because he did not want to play that game.
His
team played like that.
It is 2-1, Alex. Simple for the tie to go to the tiebreaker. Who did Nebraska lose 17-14 to in the 2007 Cotton Bowl?
I mean, that was Will Muschamp. That was Will Muschamp as a defensive coordinator. And I think he switched up the defenses a little bit, and Zach Taylor couldn't get the ball to receivers. They just couldn't move it. That was Auburn.
That was Auburn. All right, T. So how does the tiebreaker work? Do you want him? He picks a number and you go over under?
Yeah,
that's right. All right, tiebreaker. Here we go, Alex. We're all tied up at 2. Nebraska has played in 54 total bowl games in their history. How many wins do they have?
Good.
How many wins does Nebraska have in their 54 bowl games?
Am I going over or under? Or am
you're putting the number out there.
You pick the number, Alex.
All right. 27.
I've got to go over that.
Hey, Sip. He hit it right on the head.
Oh, he did.
He hit it right on the head. 27-27, a perfect 500 record. Nebraska.
Oh, wow.
You're the loser because he hit 27. You're the L. Take the L, Sipple. There you go. Alex, congrats. You win a business box of bagels, and Joe, stay on the line. Ben will get your information, my friend.
Thank you.
There it is. How about Alex hitting it right on the head with 27?
I don't think he Googled it either.
No, he answered it pretty quick.
Yeah, I didn't hear any typing.
No.
You hear that clickety clack.
That was pretty special.
Yeah. That was special.
27 and 27 though, the record for those guys. So, all right, easy game show. It was layups. It was full of layups.
It was.
It was full of layups.
It was fun. I like those memories.
You like those layups too.
I like,
like the layups.
I like the memories. I don't know what Muschamp did. I don't know if he was playing zone and they went to man. I can't remember exactly what the circumstance was schematically, but Auburn switched up something and Nebraska just couldn't get the completions they needed.
It's time for the spillover. AD will join us when we come back to wrap up a New Year's Eve edition of Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. Sponsored by Midwest Bank on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hey farmers, join Boyk Farm Outfitters at Precision Planning's Winter Conference happening January 22nd and 23rd at Innovation Campus in Lincoln. At Winter Conference, they'll cover topics like fertilizer inputs, weed management, spraying technologies, and priorities of the planter pass, to name a few. It's your chance to see new research that'll put you and your farm ahead of the curve, and it's free to attend. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this event's for you. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot today.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: fog and drizzle expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high around 47. Tonight, mainly clear with patchy fog possible, a low near 30. And tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning and mainly sunny for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 52. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie-cutter about Limitless Male? The incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at CoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
This
Well, good morning, little brother.
is Early Break. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time. Early break. It's the spillover, sponsored by our friends at Raisin Cane's Chicken Fingers. One Love. We are joined by Aaron Davis. AD, what's happening?
Good morning, y'all. It's good to be here, man. Good to be here.
Here we are, Sipple. How are we doing?
AD is here.
How you feel, Sipple?
Nice to see you, AD.
Good to
I
be
feel
seen.
good. I've been here all morning.
Sipple,
Why you asking?
on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the show rating today?
9.5.
Whoa. What's the 0.5? What do we got to work on?
You interrupted me.
Yeah, just ask the text line.
Nick, 9.5. That's good. I mean, it's a
9.5.
good rating.
No, I'll take it.
We had a fun show.
I guess I'll take it. Anyway, AD, there's playoff games tonight, AD.
There's a lot of games today. You said what, 5? I think there's 5 of them on.
There's 5 games today.
Mhm.
1 playoff game.
Yep.
Tomorrow there's 3 playoff games.
Will you lock in on anything today, AD?
I'm excited to see. I just got a bunch of end of year stuff to do, so I'll be doing that while I'm watching. And I think that Michigan-Alabama game could be closer than what people think. I listen to you guys.
Outback, here I
I
come.
listen to you guys coming
get
in.
out of here.
Here's what I'm saying.
Why'd you say that, AD?
Here's what I'm saying. Because they went into Ohio State and beat them.
what
I mean, handled them. And I think
preach.
Michigan.
Your
and-
dad's
and
a
Nick,
preacher.
didn't I? Yes. And Nick, didn't I say this before the Ohio State game? I see you guys, and I think I picked Michigan in that game. And just a little deal we do.
What game?
When they played against Ohio State,
Against the spread. Against the spread.
Oh, against the spread. I'm
Okay.
like, they're not. This is still a team with a lot of athletes on there, and this is still Michigan, a blue blood program. Granted, they didn't do very well overall. They didn't, obviously, like I said, they missed a lot of their goals they had, but they win and beat Michigan, and that's still a team
They
with a
beat
lot
Ohio
of
State.
pride. That's still a lot of pride, man. Michigan still went there and beat Ohio State. That's a team with a lot of pride. I'm not saying they beat Alabama. I'm just simply saying I think 16.5, you just give more fuel to the fire.
I love this.
So, Sip, are we going to Outback together? Is that
It's up to you.
Is that the plan? I mean,
But we have a $30 gift card on this game,
to
and I'm
Outback.
saying
Because I have Alabama to
and I'm
cover.
saying Alabama won't cover.
I don't think they cover 16.5. That's a
Bam.
lot.
Ah.
That is a lot.
Who's
This is the
smart?
same
He's a
Alabama
smart
team.
football dude.
It's 3
Well,
touchdowns.
Yeah, but you know what? This is the
Next
same
to
Alabama
nothing.
team as well that went and got boat raced in Norman.
This is the same Michigan team that got boat raced by Oregon and Texas.
That is true. That is true. I
Who
just think,
is pretty close to Alabama in the rankings.
I just think this team has played with
Indiana's
more
also.
pride than people think they're going to. I really do, man.
Tough up front on defense.
They're without a running back. Donovan Edwards isn't playing.
He's
like second. Can we talk about the downfall of Donovan Edwards too? Khalil Mullins is the best running back on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Edwards was looked at as the next Blake Corum. He was Blake
No.
Corum's replacement.
But he's not like Corum.
Not like Corum, but he's Blake Corum's replacement.
You're right. No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Does Alabama pull Florida State like last year? Disinterested.
Oh, Nick, do they? Hey, Nick, does Alabama pull
No.
Florida State?
No,
like
they do
last
not.
year?
How many guys has Alabama got sitting out this game?
How let me ask you this. Does
Nick.
how bad does Michigan just want to get to 2025 with their 5-star quarterback that they paid $10 million for?
It's true too. I think there's good pros and cons for both. There's good topics and discussions for both. I basically think 16.5 is awfully high.
Can I ask AD
Jalen
about?
Milroe and Ryan Williams.
I haven't talked to AD about Nebraska. AD, what were your takeaway? What was your biggest takeaway from Nebraska Boston College?
I was very, very impressed with our defensive line. They play inspired. I was glad. I'm gonna tell you something. Big Ty and Nash.
Mm-hmm.
I think the days of us seeing that happen again are going to be rare. Two guys that could most likely go to the next level. I ain't saying they're getting drafted in the first or second round or even the third as far as
not
Ty might.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, a guy like him, first, think about this. You had guys yesterday for Missouri that were watching their teammates play that could have played, but they had, it's the new landscape. They had NFL, aspirations. They're going to be on the draft boards. I get that. But I was so glad to see Polar Bear and Big Ty play the way they did, man. And Shavers. There was one sack. He lifted the quarterback off the ground. He hit him
You
so
know
hard.
what I bet you appreciate? I wish I'd talked to you more about football. That's a physical bunch.
They were very
Jesus.
physical.
My God, they're physical.
Kona Davis had a good sack in there. I think a fumble recovery as well. Shavers played lights out. McGahee played well. Offensive line wise, I think Dylan got sacked how many times? Once. Maybe was it twice?
There was one. It was when he stepped up in the pocket, and got
Okay.
taken out from behind.
I thought the O-line
Protection was good.
Yeah, I thought the O-line protected well. I love the catch that Banks had.
Yep.
Early on.
Fueled him.
Yeah, snagged
Fueled
it with
him.
one hand.
Matt Rule mentioned that fueled him.
It really did. And when you guys noticed a lot better than I did, they overcame the obstacles of the field because that field looked like it was absolutely destroyed, man.
Did you see how bad they're sliding?
Oh, it was bad.
Were you not allowed on the field?
No, you're not. You weren't allowed on the field.
Nick was.
I didn't have an orange vest.
We need to talk to Yankee security because I didn't have an orange vest either.
You got down there?
I just walked down. Yeah, because I was posting on
Because
Twitter.
you look like Chase Daniel.
They thought I was a quarterback.
They thought you were Chase
They
Daniel.
thought I was a quarterback. They know Chase Daniel was coaching Boston College.
What were you?
He's on speak.
What were you guys impressed the most about it?
Physicality. First of all, Ty's become a monster. I mean, the second half of the season.
Disruptive.
Oh my God.
Disruptive.
And I keep going back to that. Those teams aren't great teams, but they're both physical as hell. I mean, they really hit you. This is a hard hitting game. I'm impressed. My biggest takeaway is probably Nebraska's just level of want to and effort.
Yeah.
I just want to see that. They're not great. They're not a great team, but they play hard and they play for each other. And that makes me feel good about Matt Rule's program, that it's good culture. You don't see guys getting in trouble. And they were so happy for each other after the game. That all means a lot to me.
Well, I just think that the 15 practices preparing for the game, that's a mini spring season you have right there. And you have the new incoming freshmen that were able to take part in that. I think something else that impressed me, it was not, Matt is not going to talk about it a whole lot. Him and his wife paying for 18 seniors to go to that game.
That is amazing.
We saw them.
We saw them. They were at the Brazen Tavern.
They were in the Brazen Tavern.
Cool.
Yes. They were there.
Tavern.
It is 18 games, 18 players they sent there.
How about that?
Out of their own pocket. I thought that was impressive.
It really is.
Let's rattle off some of them that we saw.
Phelan Sanford.
Phelan, Timmy Bleekrode, Henrich was there.
Braden Clover.
That's right. Anthony Grant. Joshua Fleeks.
Yeah.
Billy Kemp.
Yeah, I didn't see Fleeks.
Oh, yeah. Fleeks. He got cut. He got a haircut.
Okay.
So he looks completely different.
Okay.
Looks completely different. Got a haircut. Joshua Fleeks. Fleeks was there. Reimer was there.
Wow.
Was Nick Henrich there?
He was. He was.
All these guys were at the same pub we were at in Manhattan.
Yeah, they just walked in. They're just chopping it up at the bar.
Yeah, and they're there with the Nebraska fans. There's a really cool scene. I'm glad you mentioned that, AD. That was a great thing that Matt Rule did for those guys. A great thing.
Yeah. And that, I tell you what, in this day and age of guys just leaving left and right, I think it's small. Well, it's not something financially wasn't small, but for
50 grand,
I've heard. I think those are deposits you make in your program, and you help solidify your culture by doing things like that. Doesn't mean you land the next topic, but it says a lot about the current environment down there.
Very well put.
Yeah.
That's a deposit.
Yeah, it is.
Let's talk about these 3 playoff games just that we have going tomorrow. Well, first of all, AD, what do you think happens tonight? Penn State, Boise.
I think Penn State is that's going to be a tough buy for Boise. They haven't seen the likes of a Penn State.
No.
I mean, so. Well, they played Oregon.
Yeah, they exactly. They have, and they battled it out. They have, but even Oregon, I don't even think they have the physicality that Penn State brings with it. I like Oregon. Oregon to me is still somewhat a little bit finessey.
Or Oregon's defense is what's interesting. It's going to be a big point tomorrow.
Penn State is going to be rough, man.
I agree. I think I agree. The thing about it is Oregon ran on Penn State.
Yeah,
they did. AD, you watch that game?
Yeah. They kind of had their way with them a little bit.
What about tomorrow? Texas is a 13-point favorite against Arizona State.
Like a lot of points again, if you want to go out back on that too.
No, because I like Arizona State a lot.
Oh,
I think Arizona State might win.
Okay. Then we're on the same page there.
I think I'm big on Arizona State. I love Kenny Dillingham too. I love his approach. Ohio State, a 2.5 point favorite against Oregon.
Love Ohio State.
And then Georgia is a 1.5 point favorite against Notre Dame without Carson Beck. I mean, then the games.
That's the X factor.
The games tomorrow or tonight and tomorrow, in addition to the bowl games, the Alabama Michigan. Don't forget, Alabama Michigan was a college football playoff matchup last year. Now here you are in the Relia Quest Bowl, just a year later. So.
Here we are at Outback.
Yep.
Sometime pretty soon.
Maybe we should live stream our Outback experience.
That's fine.
I'm not paying for a bloomin' onion.
No, you don't have to. It's $30.
It's $30 though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Whatever. I don't think it'll happen. I mean, 16.5. That's the agreement.
AD, God bless you.
Bless you, brother. Good to see you guys. Glad you both made it back safely from New York, man.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, it was dicey. It was dicey. I thought I was stuck in Midway. I thought I was going to sleep in Midway. I was going to have to sleep in the Midway airport. All right, that's it for us. The spillover once again brought to you by our friends at Raising Cane's. We're out of here. Jake is back on Thursday. Get
ready for that.
Get ready for that. He is back on Thursday. Early break for Steve Sipple, Nick Sainert saying so long. Have a happy and safe New Year. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R. It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table.